2021. Here with your free pick show. We're live every single day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Our best bets are our premium picks, so be sure to check those out every single day. Of course, we also have premium picks here on YouTube. We have our YouTube premium picks as well as our VIP YouTube premium picks. Still all works in progress very much, and I think I'm trying to find a middle ground with that stuff, figuring it out, because days like today where the schedule kind of doesn't really have a late flavor to it, it makes it extremely light on the late content and maybe a little light on the early content as far as the coverage goes. But we'll figure it out. I think we've got some ideas, and we're going to go from there. But anyways, got the gangs all here. Got NBA basketball. Got NBA basketball playoffs, 4 games. We've got Major League Baseball and NHL playoffs. So plenty to talk about. And let's just get right into it. We got the Knicks and the Hawks. We've got the Suns and the Lakers. Brian, any of these two?
Yeah, I tell you what, I was on Lakers in the last game, but I'm flip-flopping going to the Suns here. I just, after that loss that they took in L.A., you got to think that they rebound and put everything they have into winning in L.A. here. I think they're too talented to get blown out here. So I'll take the 6.5 with the Suns to keep it close.
Ron?
I'm going to take the New York Knicks here. I just think that this series is bound for 7 games, and Julius Randle had a terrible shooting performance in Game 3, and I think he was 2 for 15 from the field. Just couldn't get it done, but Derrick Rose went off for 30-plus points, and I think the Knicks are going to show a strong performance today on the road. I think even if they don't win this game, they're going to keep it close. That's just too many points for me to pass up with one of the best teams against the spread this season. So I'll take the Knicks, and I'll take the points.
Right.
For me, the only one like the spot is I like the Atlanta Hawks here. Knicks, they're 0-4 ATS their last 4 playoff games as an underdog. And the Hawks, the Knicks just don't have any answers for Trey. You can pick and roll all day long off of any one of them Knicks guys. I think the Atlanta Hawks take a nice stranglehold on the series and go up 3-1. Give me the Atlanta Hawks over the New York Knicks.
I don't know that the New York Knicks are a team that's found answers all season long, and I think they find some answers here. They're number 1 defense in the NBA for a reason. They don't just give that away, and that's why the Knicks are here. I think they, some strategy in the playoffs, like we'll see the same thing in one of the later games, I believe, is the Knicks haven't taken the strategy of shutting down Trae Young and letting somebody else beat them. What they've done is say, we have the number 1 defense. Let's see these guys beat us. And, well, they beat them twice. So, I think expect Thibodeau, who's one of the better coaches out there, and even though he doesn't get along with everybody and he doesn't seem to he's one of those coaches that wins a lot and, still gets run out of town. You see it in every sport, guys like this who win a lot and still get run out, especially in college football. And it's just he has a system, and the players have to buy into it.
Larry Brown used to be one of those.
Yeah, Larry Brown used to be one of those guys, where he wins, but he still gets run out of town. And you see in college football a lot, guys like Mike Leach, where they win, but it's like winning spots where they're not even used to winning. And I think eventually here in New York that'll happen to him too. But I think the Knicks will figure this out. And what the Hawks have done is they put the clamps on Randall, and that's why he's having bad games, is they've decided that they're not going to let him beat them. And that's why Rose is wide open. And I think we're going to see that for a lot of Knicks players. That will probably continue to happen because they're seeing that works. So some of the other Knicks guys are going to have to step it up and play. And Randall's going to have to be not take a lot of shots and be content in that decoy role, and distributing the ball. So that's really all he's going to be able to do. It's kind of the Bill Belichick, right? You take away their best option. I think in the Suns and Lakers, I think we have a low-scoring game here. So I think at 6.5 gets magnified. Could be 9.5, like on that scale. Too many, or just enough if you got the Suns. You got the Celtics and the Nets and the Clippers and the Mavericks. Celtics, I'm going to guess they're going to try that same strategy with Tatum that I just talked about with Randall, and we're not going to let Tatum score 50 again. That's for sure. It's like they're going to take him away and say, let somebody else try and beat us. The Celtics do have some guys that can. And then the Mavericks and the Clippers can say, yeah, we're not going to let Luka beat us, but that doesn't work on him. So it's just a different thing. He's one of those guys. It's like, I think everyone's been trying that all season long. And it's just not, it just doesn't work because one of those guys, kind of like Larry Bird, right, where it's like everything he kind of throws up just happens to land right in the basket. It's just an amazing thing to watch. Brian, either of these two?
Yeah, I think in that Boston Celtics Brooklyn Nets game, I'm going to focus in on the under. Last 2 games, I believe, have gone over. And I think for the Celtics, really, to compete in this series, they need to slow the ball down and play solid defense. Nets also got to refocus on defense after that last game. So I like the under 228.5 here. I think it should easily go under.
Ron?
And for me, this time slot, I think the Clippers are a strong play against the spread. You look at the Game 3 matchup with the Mavericks. Clippers won by 10, but the Mavericks still shot 51% from 3. They made 20 of 39 three-pointers, 7 more than the Clippers made. And they still lost the game by 10. So statistically speaking, doesn't really show too much positive statistics for the Mavericks in this one. I mean, they got killed inside the paint. 46 points the Clippers had in the paint, while the Mavericks only had 24. Luka is a little bit banged up. He's questionable. I doubt he would not play in this one, but he does have a little bit of a neck injury. So I think the Clippers are going to be able to tie up this series, and I'll take them laying the points.
How about Anthony Davis saying he's definitely playing? It's like, it's not even, not even a question. Of course, we didn't see that from him most of the season. Rod?
Yeah.
And for me, I'm going the other way. Reason why you've seen those numbers for the Mavericks, because it was one guy. Luka didn't get the support from his guys in the last game. They come to play today. And he gets the support knowing that their leader is injured and hurt. So they all step it up. Give me the Mavericks plus the points. And what's going to be a really close game. Definitely going to come down to the last shot, I think. So give me the Mavericks plus the points in that one.
It's a must win for Mavericks, I would say. I mean, yeah, they have a little bit of leeway and a little bit of cushion, but I would say it's a must win. I would say it's a must win.
I think it's a must win for both teams. But Clippers, I think, would obviously be they would be more likely to come back from a 3-1 series than the Mavericks would. But we'll see. This is a game Dallas definitely wants to grab at home. Take a stranglehold.
A lot of people on the Lakers in the comments, A lot of people. It's like, I don't know. I just find it hard to believe in using the Brian Bitler strategy here that the books are going to let the Lakers cash 3 games in a row. A lot of square money out there.
I just think the Suns are ultra talented, and that's a pretty high line.
I think the books are enjoying, the last couple of days where the Yankees and Dodgers both lost. They're kind of just rolling around doing snow angels and all the cash they're collecting.
Oh, they got hurt.
and then handing it out on favorites, because that's all they won yesterday in the NBA.
I mean, the NBA they got crushed on.
Yeah, but in baseball they just
they got a bet.
They absolutely but
the NBA is more heavily bet. You can tell that by the.
Oh, I understand, but there's also 15 games in Major League Baseball.
That's true.
For NBA, and that's why in our space, in the handicapping space, a lot of the other sites, it's just baseball, whatever. It's every single day. back when I first started, and DraftKings and FanDuel were just starting, and back then the founders of those companies were kind of just like me, guys with websites, and we would talk, and they were like, both of them said the same thing, to me. It was like, yeah, people think it's all about football and basketball, but actually, baseball is a long season and it's every day, and it might not be as big a days. You don't have as big a days as an NFL Sunday, but over the long haul, as far as sports betting goes, it's actually bigger. Or as far as fantasy went, they were just doing fantasy back then. They were coming up with that concept of daily fantasy. I thought it was a good idea, even though I didn't like fantasy. I was like, that's a good idea. Weird. Anyways, what are you selling, Brian?
Yeah, today I want to bounce back. I got my golden ticket 5-pack. I got 2 in the NBA, 1 in the NHL, 1 in Major League Baseball. So 5 altogether for $50 at pickdogs.com premium picks.
Yeah, we're doing well on the weekends. Another winning day yesterday. Looking to do the same today. My Super Sunday trio. Got my top 2 MLB plays, as well as my NHL play of the day in the playoffs tonight. So 3 plays for $29.95 at Pick Dogs Premium.
And for me, it's I've got it split up today. I got 5 basketball plays that I absolutely love in one package, and I've got 2 baseball and 1 hockey in another package. So there we go. I jump aboard over at Pick Dogs Premium.
Yep, I had a little bit of a rough patch last couple weeks, and then the last few days picking it back up again. Just kind of I get out of my game, It's like one day I had like 11 picks or something, I just get out of my game. So kind of been back on my game the last few days, and a lot of the one-run tight games and extra inning games that have gone against me, went in my favor, and that's just, that's the difference. That's the difference maker. That Seattle Rangers game, it could have gone either way, and it actually looked like the Rangers were probably going to win it because Seattle bats just went absolutely quiet, and then a couple home runs late. The Seattle bullpen that we saw earlier this season, it was all over. It was really all over. I don't understand the closer situation there in Seattle. This guy's just a heart attack, right? It's like, why do you want a heart attack closer like that? It's like him. The closers that always surprise me, Colomé, right? It's like, why? Why? It was like when the Mets had Familia as the closer. It's like, why? Why would you do that? It's like you're better off taking your very best pitcher and making him your closer, And Noah Syndergaard, of course, shut down for the season.
Yeah.
Brian had this Mets future. It was based that Syndergaard would be back shortly.
It wasn't so. That was that was the thing. I'm very disappointed. But the Mets would be tough with Syndergaard and DeGrom. Taiwan Walker, he's not a slouch. Stroman.
Mets really have the injury bug bad right now. So the Phillies. That whole division's been topsy-turvy. NL East, not what we thought it was going to be. But I think by the end, you'll see the cream rise to the top. Atlanta Braves.
A lot of interesting stuff here in the chat. Rod, definitely one you want to address there. That's for sure. Legitimate question. Not gonna. It's hockey. Anyways, let's get to the Major League Baseball games. I think that guy definitely deserves an answer. Got Chad Kuhl has got a job. I thought it was Chad DeJong. But I'm seeing Chad Kuhl.
I was saying Chase DeYoung.
Chase DeYoung. That's it. But all right.
Well,
so maybe
I think he is still pitching.
All right, then
Maybe a party.
Well, I'm looking at I'm looking at two different things. One says Chase Young, and the other one says Chad Kuhl. And the guys who say Chad Kuhl, we don't like to talk about our competitors, but it rhymes with Movers. We're going to have competing stuff with all this matchup stuff, like much bigger and better than what you see at these other sites, including that one, who has been the mainstay in the industry for quite some time. There's a new sheriff in town. You guys are going to love the new sports shop place and Pick Dogs. Going to take a little bit. Like, you'll see the switch over to the new sports shop probably tonight, but you won't see a lot of those other features until the coming weeks. But you'll see the new sports shop, and then you'll see that, and Pick Dogs will all remain the same, and then eventually that will all flip as well. But anyways, it's just we're flipping one system to the other. We don't want to, it's like it's hard enough to do that, so you don't want to, like, the more stuff you have going on, the more chances of something going wrong. So this way you stick with the basic, and then you build it out on that site, on that platform, is the way I prefer to do it. Some other people, they just dump right in. Which, I don't know. There's nothing wrong with that either. I just don't like the site going down. Other people, they don't seem to mind it. A lot of these sites were down NFL Sunday and college football Saturday this year, remember? Crazy.
Holy crap, yeah.
Pirates and the Rockies. The Rockies are DTM in my book. That is dead to me.
DTF.
Dead to me. Dead. I mean, was there a more pathetic offensive effort than the Rockies flailing at the ball yesterday for 2 straight games against Pittsburgh?
Of course, Pittsburgh wins 2 games that I don't bet on.
Yeah, me too.
Best.
Me too. I was on the Rockies on one of them. I mean, I had a winning day, and one of my losses was the Rockies in the second game with Gomber.
And I even missed on my rainouts. It was 1 rainout yesterday. I thought there'd be 4, so I can't even get that right.
Rockies dead to me. We got Scherzer against Woodruff. It's a beauty. I love games like that. Savali and Stripling in Cleveland. Is that a doubleheader?
Yep.
Nice. Oh, so the lines are out now for this doubleheader. They weren't out before. So I might add some picks, some premium picks. I think I like.
Careful on that one. I think the pitchers got swapped from game 1 to game 2, and I don't know who's what right, because they're all over the map. If you're looking, I was looking at that this morning, and they had Savali in game 2, and then now they got him in game 1, and it was like now they put the other guy, the Henches, in game 2, and some places.
Generally, it's the guys that were supposed to pitch today go game 1, and then the other guys are in game 2 that were supposed to pitch yesterday.
Usually. But it's all over. I show
Savali Mats in game 1. Which, if I want to get that in, I'm going to.
You would think Savali would be a bigger favorite, though, than what's listed.
I don't think so. Savali's numbers are deceiving.
All right. Savali against Mats. We got Eflin and Colin McHugh. Philly's just not holding up to the pressure there in Tampa. And then the Marlins, how many left on base do they have in this series? 70, 80? It's every inning. How many times have they left the bases loaded and scored 0? I mean, seemingly all the time. And it's Ottavino that's gotten them out a bunch of those times, which is crazy. Doesn't make any sense. Rod, what do you think of those 5?
For me, I'm going to take the Milwaukee Brewers and Woodruff over Scherzer. I think you got a nice pitchers duel. I lean the under. I think definitely got a low-scoring game. But Woodruff's been solid all year, and I'm going to go with the Brewers. Trust them a little more than Washington right now. Give me the Brewers over the Nats in that one. The only one I like in that spot.
Ron?
And for me, going to the Tropicana Field, the Rays are just too hot, and the Phillies are not. got to take the Rays again. Colin McHugh is the opener. He'll only pitch about an inning, maybe 2 innings. And then I think Josh Fleming's coming in for the Rays. It's not official, but, the Rays are just pitching well. They're hitting in spots, and situational offense has really worked for them. Philly's still banged up, and just think that I'm going to ride the Rays until they prove me wrong. They've won 14 of their last 15. The Phillies are 10-17 away from home, so I'll take Tampa Bay. It's a pretty decent price. I can not too much juice to lay at home, so I'll take the Rays.
Yeah, interesting games here. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I just want no part of the Phillies on the road against a good team, a professional team. Rod or Brian?
Yeah, in that time slot, I'm going to go with the Washington Nationals over the Brewers. Got a tremendous pitching matchup here, but I think Scherzer and the Nationals step up, having lost 3 games straight. I think you're getting a great price on Scherzer at home. So I'm all over the Nationals on the money line.
I think Rod should definitely address that. I should think he should definitely address it.
Why? Because in the video I changed my mind and what I put on a premium pick.
Yeah. I mean, if you didn't address it in the premium pick,
what am I supposed to do?
If you change your pick, you address it. Just like when I say, I know I gave.
I
this out
did.
in the
Well,
video,
I can't go on the Facebook group and address it and say, hey,
in the premium pick. In the premium pick, you say it, right, and why. If you changed your...
Did I not say that?
I don't know.
I'm quite sure I said that.
All right. Well, I don't know. I mean, there seems to be some controversy, and it's like I'd rather have it aired out, and then we're not going to ignore it. I mean, I do the same thing. I give one pick in the video, and sometimes, something changes.
Yeah.
Sometimes you see something different. It happens.
I just avoided it altogether because I'm a Leafs fan. So that's probably what happened. I changed, and I figured that they would get it done, and they did not.
Yep, that happened with me too. I used to when I did the free pick videos, I'd take one way the night before, and then the next day, and then I would, it happens.
Yeah, I mean, I always back everybody. I know Brian on the shows. He always seems to, he goes for the big, he goes for the big dogs, the unpopular play, and that's his game. And it's like sometimes it works out for him, and sometimes it doesn't, but. Just because someone goes on a rough run on a certain subset of picks, it doesn't mean that some guy that sends me an email, I'm going to replace them on my website. I'm going to replace Brian with that on my website. It's ludicrous because I think if you look back, and we don't have it on our site, but Brian's on a lot of sites, and you can go back and look at him on all of those other sites. And will say this to everybody, and I don't care. Brian and I disagree all the time on picks, right? But the general philosophy is the same, right? It's like, but just because he picked the Reds yesterday, which was deplorable, it doesn't mean he didn't win like 7 college football championships, 6 NFL titles. So he doesn't mean he was near the top of the NBA all season long this year, and whatever. It's like every handicapper out there, except for the Twitter guys, have a bad run, right? I don't know how the Twitter guys do it. I would love to be able to figure this game out, how they just win every single game. And you get to put a big green check mark next to it and brag about it and do a tap dance and create your own music video about it, which, of course, doesn't have you in it. But, that's TikTok, right? The TikTok cappers. It's like a music video of a screen. It's really exciting. I don't know. They do it. I talked to a TikTok guy. Romanelli is the one that told me that I should be doing TikTok. And, I talked to a guy about TikTok, Twitter, because I asked on the show, remember? I asked if anyone knows anyone in social media, whatever. And only one person referred me to someone, and this guy's a heavy hitter. So I liked what he said because it wasn't what I wanted to hear. And I think that's the best guys are going to tell you something that you've heard before, but you weren't exactly 100% sure. But these guys had a strong basis as to why that is, and you just have to have your own. You can't do everything and everyone. It's like there's certain guys that have really lit it up on social media, and like Vegas Dave, right? He's lit it up on social media. I don't know the guy. I've never seen his social media show. I've never been to a social media channel. It's, but I know because I saw the show, the TV show, and I saw, obviously people talk about him in our chat every day here, and stuff. So, he must be doing something right. But yeah, we're gonna get into all that stuff. We're gonna figure it all out. It's just, I think what a lot of people have forgotten maybe or don't understand about this is that Pick Dogs is my second brand, and it's like since last February, not this one that just passed, but the February before that, it's been basically just a mad scramble to keep these sites afloat behind. It's kind of been a fire drill, not financially, but just in general. And then you're going to see over the next several months heading into football season, you're going to start to see these sites take their real shape. Pick Dogs and Sports Chat are going to have a further differentiation as to what they are. So I'm excited about all of this stuff. But if you think that because Brian lost his Cincinnati Reds pick or his stupid ass, who did the Jazz play anyway? Like, or these guys all lost that pick?
I'm more upset about my NBA picks.
Yeah, I mean, whatever, man. It doesn't really matter. Over the long haul, Brian's been one of the best handicappers on the entire internet. And it's like, if you're a handicapper that hasn't gone through a rough patch or had a bad year, I'm having a bad year, right? But look at me last year. I had plus money for the overall year. I was winning record in NFL. I had a winning record in the bubble and NBA. I had all that other stuff. And this year, I started the year bad. My head was in other places, and I know, my head goes into other places. My picking gets worse. I know that. And also, you don't get the break sometimes. But it doesn't mean I'm going to, one guy sent me an email, Mitch's mailbag. They basically, and this guy's a reasonable guy, he seems like a nice guy, smart guy, and all this stuff. But basically, he wanted me to hold a personal picking contest between him and Brian, and then if he won, that he would become a handicapper on the site. And my answer to that is, it's like, well, if you're a good handicapper or you bring something different to the table, a different set of analytics, a different set of something than what our guys do, well, of course I'll look to you as a handicapper. But you can't make a claim that, because you won for 2 or 3 weeks, that you're better than someone that's been doing it for 10. You know how hard it is to do this for 10 years plus? It's so hard, man. That's why when we ran the contest, Rod, how many guys in the contest had a winning record of plus one?
All the top 10 in both contests easily had massive winning records.
They
were all over 1,000 units in the top 10 on both
for
contests.
30 days. For 30 days. But
yeah, over
what percentage of the overall entries had a winning record? Plus units.
I'm going to say over 40%.
Really?
Yeah, it was.
I'm surprised.
Maybe 40 is a little.
I would think it would be closer to 10 or 15%.
I think it was a little higher than what I expected. It was people had a good run there in December.
I think we need another contest with Rod running it.
We're going to have some other contests. No, Rod's not going to run. We're going to have Rod can run it, but we're going to have it all. We have these are the type of things we're going to have all sorts of contests and games and all prizes and all kinds of cool stuff. You guys are going to. I'm telling you, we're going to have stuff that some of these other really big sites are doing. You're going to see I always say, we have more traffic than these guys and we're actually bigger than these guys and these guys. But what you guys have seen is a big construction project behind the scenes that you guys haven't even really seen, And it's but what you're going to see in the coming months is bigger and better stuff than all these other guys have. I mean, one of these other guys is a really nice app, and they track your stuff and then they show the money moves and all that other stuff. There's nothing compared to what we're going to have. Ours is going to be, you're going to say, wow, and same thing with the place where you go for all the matchups, and see all the statistics and all this other stuff. I've shown Romanelli some of the stuff and he's a stat guy, so he knows the stuff's off the chain. Really excited about it, but that's aside from the point, but I have to address it because I'm getting so many emails about it. Anyways, I mean, Brian and I disagree on games. That's the nature of the beast. It doesn't, and he's wins some, I win some. Believe me, he goes through runs and some of them, I tell you, some of the ones that he picks, I'm just like, I can't even, I would still make the same pick over and over and over again. I'd probably lose it over and over again, right? It's like, especially in football. He was the only one that had the Eagles in that game. Seahawks. I know that much.
I missed the Jets. That's my favorite.
Yeah, the problem that Brian gets is he hangs on to a bad thing, and then even if they win, he's still 1-11. There's Angels, Jets, and that's what people unfortunately are remembering. They're not looking at those long, the longevity of it all, which is really the hardest part. I mean, how many Twitter cappers come and go? How many TikTok cappers come and go? It's easy to when you're not accountable. When you're just some troll hurling, and that's like this guy that's trying to kill me, right? He thought he was like some anonymous guy, and I would never do anything, right? He'd send it from his work email. He threatened me and my wife, and that's crossing lines, He thinks it's acceptable. I don't, and neither did where he works think it's acceptable because they would be liable, right, if something happened. But anyways, we'll be publishing all of his information because I do believe I might be in danger here. Guys, whacked. Insane. Anyways, let's get to our next set of games. The Twitter community is huge. They are transparent and they do win crazy. Then why? Here's my question then. If they win crazy, right, and they're transparent, then why don't they have the real pictures and real contact information? Okay, why are they not accountable then? Why don't you ever see their face? Yeah, Rod was the king of the Cappers duel. Right?
Yeah,
this guy's talking about the Cappers duel, one site I follow. That's not a site, that's a Facebook group. It's not a real website, it's a Facebook group. I know Kyle, and I've talked to him on the phone a number of times. He just has a different, I don't understand where he's going, and that's why we were never able to do something. We talked a lot of times about collaborating and doing things together, but I just don't understand the direction that he's going or that he wants to go. It's kind of like he has a Facebook group, and it's like, yeah, you have a Facebook group with 30, 40,000 people. It's not apples to apples with a website with 7 million, right? It's just not the same. So it's very hard to find even ground, a starting point, if they're not willing to acknowledge that part of it. So it's like we can't be partners, 40,000, 7 million,
Right.
Facebook, where you don't own that property and they could just close your group down tomorrow if they wanted to, versus, something that you own. It's just a different animal. So, and I got Rod from there. Rod was the king of the Cappers duel. Rod won some Cappers duels, right?
I think I was like 5-1 in the Cappers duels. Slaughtered the NBA one before the bubble. That's what it used to be. Yeah, 15 days. 15 days. It was like $25 every 15 days. People would watch.
Yep.
Flock into.
Yeah, there's private group. Some of the guys there are legitimate and some aren't, but that's not Twitter. That's on Facebook.
That's Facebook. Yeah.
Yeah.
There are some guys on Twitter that are.
I'm not saying every other site is lousy and every other capper, and a lot of our guys are on other sites and all that other stuff, and we could have a whole show just about 80%. This. We could have a whole show just about this, but it's like. If you're buying pics from a picture of a clown, and you got screwed over, well then you got If that's what you guys want, then I'm doing this wrong. But to me, when I see the big numbers, the biggest Twitter following, I see guys with 150,000 followers. That's like a week, That's like a bad week for us. That's like 2 days at Sports Chat Plays. That's what those guys have done in years. So, I don't know. Anyways, we got to get to these games or else we're going to be here all day. Got Yankees and the Tigers, the Twins and the Royals, the White Sox and the Orioles. We've got Padres against the Astros and the Cubs and the Reds. I think the moral of that story is I'm going to back my guys. I don't care if they lost a couple games or had a couple losing months. Unless they do something that's really stupid.
For me in that group there, I like the under in San Diego and Houston. We got a nice pitching duel in that one. Give me the under 8.5. And I'll keep taking the White Sox on the run line until Baltimore shows something different. I remember Keegan Aiken. He's nothing, no prize chicken there. So I know Giolito struggled a little bit, but I think the bats are way better on the White Sox. Give me the White Sox on the run line in that one. Yeah. The only two I like in that time spot.
I'm going to take the Yankees on the run line. Tigers definitely frustrated the Yankees the first two games, but this is the matchup that Detroit does not want to see. Tariq Skubal on the mound for the Tigers, 1-7 with a 5.23 ERA, giving up plenty of home runs, 13 home runs allowed in 43 innings, giving up 45 base hits, 20 walks. I just think that the Yankees, a righty-dominant lineup with Stanton, Judge, Urshela, Torres, you name it. I think they take care of him. And Michael King's been solid for the Yankees this season. It's a 2.29 ERA. So I'll lay the run line with the Yankees to try to get some value back from that deep money line price. I also like the Houston Astros against the Padres. Astros held a big lead late in that game yesterday, and the Padres made a nice comeback. Now it's 2 extra inning losses for the Astros to start the series, but they are the 5th team ranked in OPS against left-handed pitching. I think the Astros bats wake up, or they've already been up, but I think the pitching holds late. I think they have another lead late, and I think this time the bullpen can close it out. So I'll take the Astros on the money line at home.
Isn't that Yankees a bullpen game with King?
Yeah, he'll only pitch about 1-2 innings, and then the Yankees bullpen, which has been, I think, 3rd best in the league, will take care of the rest.
Oh, for me, I'm going to go with the Detroit Tigers here. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Got 2+ money wins in the first 2. And that hasn't stopped Johnny Public from humping up on the New York Yankees here. I think they're in for another L on the road. And then the other one, I'm going to fade Matt Shoemaker and the Twins. I got it at a little bit higher plus money this morning, but there's no reason not to give the Royals a shot here. I think the Twins overpriced again. So for me, it's the Royals and the Tigers, nice little plus money duo.
I like the Cubs again against the Reds. And minus 238 is big number for the White Sox, but man, do the Orioles suck. They're just terrible, man. So bad. Maybe double run line, minus 2.5 there. And the over.
2.5.
And the over. How about that 6.5 over in the early game yesterday? It was like, what was that? I think the White Sox scored 7 on their own, right? It's like, just didn't make any sense. The Yankees are just dead here. They looked lost. Yesterday was like, it was almost like the Dodgers and the Yankees both looked like, I mean, they just had no answers, Love it. So I'm going to go with the Tigers, Tariq Skubal. Scooble. Scooble, you say. A's and Angels, Giants, and those same aforementioned Dodgers. Indians and Jays. Mariners and Rangers. Kikuchi and Yang. Sounds like a law firm.
Right?
Diamondback. Kikuchi, Yang, and Yang.
I like a little Kikuchi.
Rock and roll Kikuchi Ku. Diamondbacks only plus 105 here with Matt Peacock against Kwang Young Kim. And Jacob deGrom and Max Fried tonight on ESPN. That's my kind of game. I love it. 2 hours, you're done. I'm good. My wife's favorite pitcher is Mark Burley. I used to drag her to the White Sox games in Chicago. She would only go Burley's pitching. It's like 2 hours, you're out of there. We got a major... I don't know what this guy is doing in the YouTube comments. It's like I see him there, and I keep trying to get around to it, but Frank Lucas keeps emailing me about Brian's Reds pick. Brian, just in case anyone doesn't know, Brian picked the Reds yesterday, and they lost. It still pays the same. I think it was even money, an even money loser.
Oh my
right?
God, the Cincinnati Reds. Well, I'll probably take them today again too. So there. Christ. I'm gonna take the Reds again today. I'm taking them today. I don't care.
This is a real B&H customer story.
That's just me going to the YouTube so I can delete this guy. I don't know what he's doing.
No, yeah, you got to get rid of whatever that is. Whoa, what kind of name is that? Anyways.
Can't get the chat to show. Is this today? Oh, I see. What's going on? Is this today? I don't even know. Oh, no, it's not. I'm looking at yesterday's. That's why. All right.
That's why you can't get the chat.
Yeah. That's why I can't find this guy. Anyways, we still on these games. Who's up?
For me in these games, the Angels got a win yesterday. Now you're getting a win today. I'm going to take Oakland on the run line. I know Cole Irving, he hasn't looked great in spots, but either is Quintana. So give me the Oakland A's in that one. They beat the snot out of the Angels today. And if it definitely ain't broke, don't fix it. Then just keep fading the Diamondbacks. 0-13 in the last 13. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Give me the Cardinals and Hwan Kim on the mound there. With the Diamondbacks.
Yep. That money line price may look a little fishy in the line movement and the money action. It's been that way since the past week with the Diamondbacks. And until they win a game, I'm just going to have to keep fading them. Like Rod said, Cardinals with Kim, the better starter. Matt Peacock with the 4.91 ERA. Diamondbacks are just not pitching well, and Cardinals should be able to take advantage of it again. I lean towards the Cardinals and the over in that one. I think we could see the Cardinals score the over by themselves. So I'll take St. Louis.
So Manuel Alvarez, who's not a premium member of any kind, never supports us in any way that I know of, is complaining in the chat. So he has to go. See ya. It's like the loudest boos always come from the cheapest seats. Hasta la vista. Brian?
Well, for me in that time frame of games, I think the best value is the San Francisco Giants with Kevin Gausman on the mound. He's 5-0 with a 1.53 ERA. Yeah, they're going up against Clayton Kershaw, but the Giants are trying to pay back the Dodgers for that rough time in San Francisco. I think it's a good value at plus 150. And then a lean to the Angels with Quintana on the mound. I think he's had 3 serviceable starts. Cole Irvin, just not a Cole Irvin guy. I think the Angels come up with a plus money win.
chance.
Lots of chances.
I think.
No
that,
chance.
well, here's another.
Perhaps.
Here's another Brian comment. It
Double
says,
it up. No chance.
It says Bittler is a good capper. He's picked plenty of big underdog winners. Every capper has their cold streaks. The thing is, Brian's had a lot of hot streaks within here. It's just some of his bad picks have outshone his good ones. And I've had that conversation with him too. It's like some of these bad ones are, it's like he'll go 3-1. His one pick is the Angels that he beats the table on, or, the Minnesota Twins that he's like pounding the table on. It's like, meanwhile, it's, 4-1 that day, right? It's like, it's the same thing with, I don't like the cappers to talk about how good their runs are. I'm always against that. And, I always say if you have a good run, then people will say it for you. People say Ron is hot. It's like, and because if this way, if you run cold, they don't beat you up.
We disagree on that one.
Yep. Well, that's why I'm sitting here and you're sitting there.
Exactly.
I mean,
I'm just saying
that's why
you run the site and you expect sales, and for people to notice or to get your eyes, and you need to alert them to what you're hot at, what sport you're doing well at, so they can purchase NBA or NHL, whatever you happen to be hot at. If you just say get my 3 picks, I'm doing well. How the hell do they know whether it's NBA, NHL, and Major League Baseball? So that's my feeling. I don't do it to slam my chest. I do it to alert people to the sport that I'm doing well in at the time. So that's all I have to say.
All that information is available over at Pick Dogs Premium. You can just go have a look, and it's
look.
all right there. It's all
right
documented, 100% documented on the site, and that's why it's 100% documented on the site.
And,
right?
I've been doing it for over a decade, so I do things the way I.
And I've been doing it over a decade too, and look at the results. How many people file.
I'm never going to mention whether I'm hot or cold again. I'm just going to say I got this, and that's it.
Wow. That little bitch assness going on over there.
I love everyone. I've been doing this for about a year.
I don't know, man. I just don't think it's necessary. Yeah, I mean, it's like the website shows all the picks. It's like I own it, win or lose. I don't have a choice. It's there. It's transparent. If I'm winning, I'm on the leaderboard. Maybe we should show the leaderboards every day instead. Or show the results from yesterday. We'll show the 7-day. We'll show the yesterday. We'll show the 7-day. Let's do it. We'll add a segment. We'll add a leaderboard segment to when the part where, so starting tomorrow, the part where we each talk about what we have for sale, we'll show the leaderboard and yesterday's top, and then the sports that are relevant, we'll show the leaderboards in those sports. How about that? What do you guys think? We'll take a vote. You're supposed to say yes, no, maybe.
I'd say I think they could just go on the site. I think it would just add time to the show, but I'm fine with everything.
Yeah, well, it'll be basically taking your spot. Anyways, I like the over in the A's-Angels game. You got Cole Irvin, who's definitely regressing, and Quintana, who's actually playing better than he was earlier this season, but that's not saying much. I'm showing Henches and Mats in the second one, but I don't think that's the matchup, to be honest with you.
See, that's what I seen too, and I was like, it's totally.
I don't think that's it.
Flip flop.
No, it's not.
No, because it was flopped the other way earlier, and then now it's like, dang it, what's going on?
What the hell's going on here?
Right? Because I was like, oh, I like the game too, and then I was like, oh, now I don't know who's pitching where and what game. Just know if the Jays win game 1, definitely jump all over the Indians game 2. Jays do not win 2 in a row in doubleheaders. Very rare.
Just for that, I'm taking the other one. Oh, you've settled it for me.
Okay.
Let's see what we can do here. Looking for how I can do this. Just going to show the leaderboards. Anyways, I like the over in the A's-Angels game, and then I think what we'll do is before we do each sport, I'll show the sport leaderboard, and and then before we do the days picks, I'll show the daily, the 7 and the 30 and days boards. How about that? Yeah, that's what we'll do.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I like it. New format. It all happened right here. That's how fast things happen.
Yeah.
And I like Kikuchi also. I don't like that price tag. It's for damn sure. And I like the Cardinals against the Diamondbacks because the Diamondbacks are. I think this could go 20. This losing streak. I think we're going 20. We saw 20 from them 2 years ago. We saw 220s on the downside and a 20 on the upside, all from the Diamondbacks in one season. I believe they can do the same. I think this team has, at least on the losing side. They're definitely the Sacktown Kings of the Major League Baseball. And I can't wait to see that game tonight. It's going to probably rain. Blow it for me. Anyways, we go to the NHL. Who's our top NHL handicappers? I'll read them off to you since we don't have the graphics prepared. Anyone have it in front of them? I'll have it. Hang on. Our top NHL leaderboards. Our top NHL handicappers. Pick Dog, top dogs. Plus 1,300. Al McMorty and Shore. Forno. She doesn't give a lot of picks. It's on the leaderboard. I think we should have minimums on these leaderboards, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
At a certain point, you have to have at least 10% of the total games played or something. Or 10%, I don't know what it would be. I mean, it's got to be at least a game, 5 games a week or something, right? Kyle Hunter, another one, light. Ron Romanelli on the leaderboard in NHL, number 5. In the VIP Sports Syndicate, plus 47 units. What do you guys think of tonight's NHL action? I like Vegas. Rod?
For me, I like. I'm gonna stick with what I said in the video. I'm taking Tampa Bay Lightning, but I also, for this part of this show, I'm going to give out the over 5.5 on Tampa Bay and Carolina. Goals will plenty in that one. Back and forth. Both offenses high powered. I think we get the over 5.5 in that one. And the Knights and the Avalanche, I also like the over 5.5. These two teams, when they play, they like to score goals. So give me the over 5.5 in that one as well. 2 overs, double over.
No, I'm going to take the under in that Avalanche game. We know the Golden Knights are the top defensive team, William Jennings Trophy winners for giving up the fewest goals in the regular season. When you think the Avalanche, you think, high scoring, fast paced hockey, but defense wasn't too shabby in Colorado. Only gave up 2.36 goals per game. It's among the league's best. So I think, Colorado hasn't played since May 23rd. I don't think they'll be rusty out there, but I think a slower pace is what we're going to see. So I like the under 5.5. We could see a 3-1, 3-2 kind of game, but I like the under.
For me, in those hockey groupings, I think I'm going to go with a hot diggity dog and the Vegas Golden Knights plus the puck-and-a-half. I think it's a 1-goal, low-scoring game, 3-2 type of game. So I'm going to lay that minus 150 and take the plus 1.5.
All right, recap time. Roger up first. I'm just going to leave it as is. I don't know if we have the camera thing fixed.
All righty, for me in the NBA, I like the Dallas Mavericks plus the points. The Atlanta Hawks lay the points. MLB, I like the Brewers on the money line. Marlins on the money line. White Sox on the run line. Oakland on the run line. Cardinals on the money line. NHL, I like both overs in the NHL hockey games tonight. And my parlay, take the Mavericks plus the points, take the Brewers on the money line, and take the over in the Lightning and Carolina game. Parlay those up.
Ron?
Alrighty, I'm going to take the New York Knicks and the Los Angeles Clippers against the spread in the NBA. In Major League Baseball, I like the Rays, Astros, and Cardinals all on the money line, and I like the New York Yankees on the run line. And we'll talk about that Mets-Braves game on the VIP show later today. And in the NHL, I like the under in the Avalanche and Golden Knights game. My parlay today is going to be the Cardinals, Astros, both on the money line, and the LA Clippers laying the points. So make it a big day, everybody.
How about that 5.5 in this Mets-Braves game?
I know, it's unreal.
5.5. I've seen higher totals in the 7-inning games than that.
Oh, yeah. We saw 6.5 Brewers yesterday. It's crazy.
Crazy, man. Brian?
In the NBA, I had the Phoenix Suns plus the 6.5. I have the Boston Celtics and Brooklyn Nets going under the total. Then in Major League Baseball, the Washington Nationals, the Detroit Tigers, the Kansas City Royals, the San Francisco Giants, LA Angels, and then in hockey, the Vegas Golden Knights plus the 1.5. And my parlay was the Suns plus the points, the Boston under the total, and Vegas Golden Knights plus the 1.5.
I took the Knicks and the Suns and the Utah Jazz. And then in baseball, I like the Pirates only because of the pure fate of the Rockies, who are absolutely dead to me in any road games whatsoever. I like the Tigers. I like the Indians in Game 1. Savali. Now that we know the matchup, I like the White Sox minus 2.5 runs. I like the over in the Angels A's. I like Kikuchi and rock and roll Coochie Coo, Rick Derringer. And I like the Cardinals, Kwang Young Kim. So my parlay, I'll parlay up the Knicks, the Suns, and the Mariners. That's it. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. Another fun show. I'm excited about the things going on at the site. Like I said, these things take time, so while I talk about them now, you'll see them start to leak out over the next couple of weeks and hopefully fast-track some of these things so you guys can actually see what I'm talking about. We will change the format of the show tomorrow when it comes to posting those leaders and leaderboards and all that other kind of stuff. I think that's a good idea. It's a holiday tomorrow, so a lot of early action once again. Does that mean Romanelli's with us on Monday, or doesn't mean? Or is checking out?
I won't be there, no. I still have class, but...
Huh. Well, call us when you have no class.
Only on Wednesdays. Only on Wednesdays with Tony T.
Classless. He's classless on Wednesdays. Tony T. We should get Tony T on here. I would like to have him fill in for me for a couple days. To be honest with you. All right. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. I'm going to try and act more professional tomorrow. Let's make it a winning day.